everybody. Today I wanted to do a video on spellcraft. I've watched a lot of videos on YouTube and actually seen that there is information out there on spellcraft, but really not a lot of detail as to what it's all about and how it works. So I'm going to give you my representation of how I see how spellcraft works. First off, I'm going to seriously stress that 90% of the work that goes into spellcraft, that goes into the spells and the things that you do, 90% of that is actually research. Research. I cannot stress that enough. The other 10% is actually casting your circle, calling your elements, blessing everything, calling in your god and goddess, the cakes and ale. That's the other 10% is actually applying the knowledge that you've actually learned. So, what is spellcraft? Well, I guess in my kind of twisted little sort of weird way, to me, spellcraft actually has to do with, in a sense, baking a magical cake, if you will. To make a cake, you have to research all the ingredients. Research the recipes to find out which ones you like and which ones you don't. Are you going to have self-rising flour? Are you going to add something that's going to make the flour rise? Is one egg going to be enough? Is two eggs going to be enough? If I cook it at 325, do I leave it in a little bit longer or do I take it out? So you kind of have to, it's like putting a cake together, a homemade cake, and having to research and throw something together and knowing that because it's not carved in stone, that well, if I didn't add enough moisture, then my cake is going to become too dry. If it's if it's too much moisture, then it's going to become really wet and runny, and it's not going to rise. That's pretty much how spellcraft actually works. Is that you research so much of the herbs, the oils, the astrological signs, the moon phases, the zodiac signs, your zodiac signs, what's compatible with what oil, what herb. It's it's like making a cake. You have to really sit down and research. You can't just go on the internet and go, okay, well, it says I need this, and this. And you just throw everything together. And a lot of people wonder why. Why did this backfire? I don't understand. I did everything that the recipe called for, but yet it backfired on me and actually did more damage than good. Because there's actually 13 rules. There's 13 rules of a witch, and four of these rules are really important to actually doing the spellcraft. First off, know yourself. Know what you're capable of doing. Learn about who you are on the inside, your emotions, your feelings, and how you feel on the inside, and how you feel about the things going on in the world. Second thing you need to do is learn as much as you possibly can. Get your hands on everything that you possibly can. All the books, um, stuff off the internet. The more and more you learn, the more wisdom that you can use to apply to actually doing that. The next one would be applying that knowledge and that wisdom. Once you've learned all that aspect of, you know what the herbs are for, you know what the oils are, you know what the corresponding zodiacs are to the oils. Now, the question is, you have this power in your hand to wield whatever you want to wield. Are you going to use it for bad or are you going to use it for good? That's where the wisdom aspect comes in. So the other thing that I want to stress is that I took some notes, so I'm actually looking at my notes. Um, Applying the knowledge, the wisdom, and know your craft, which means that know what exactly you are using. Know how it's going to react, No, what it's gonna do, um, if you are doing a love spell and you actually use a certain oil or a certain stone that actually takes away from the love spell, then that means that that spell, you're going to put all that energy into that spell and it's going to blow up like a balloon, right? But if it's something that works against the spell, then what's going to happen is that that magical aspect is going to deflate and you're not going to get what you want out of that spellcraft. So again, it's research. So I'm going to give you an example of what I'm talking about in a magical sense. First off, say for example, you want to do candle magic, okay? We have to figure out altar cloth color, candle color, what herb, what stone, waxing or waning moon phase, void of course, day of the week, what day of the week is strong, the astrological aspects or the astrological zodiacs that are in that current moon phase, if they're going to work for the spell or against the spell, you have to research what the herbs are. Are the herbs related to money? Are the herbs related to Neptune, Pluto, Saturn? Is the oil related to Pluto, Neptune, or Saturn? You have to go in and basically it's detail, 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 detail. But if you spend a whole hour and a half putting all this energy and time into doing your spellcraft and using everything right up to the smallest amount of a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and all of a sudden, oh crap, I didn't look at the void of course. And guess what? There's a void of course going on from right now until 12 o'clock at night. That means that it does not matter whatever you do, it does not matter how much time you put into it. If you don't research your void of course, everything is going to crap on you. It's like trying to flush a clogged toilet. You keep flushing and flushing and flushing and flushing. It's not going to go anywhere. It's just going to stay put. So whenever you get into this, think really, really carefully about what you're wanting to put into this. Think really, really carefully about how you want this to come out. Whenever you're doing your spellcraft, your thoughts have to be in order with this. If you're thinking about one thing and this feels something else, then you're going to have an explosion happen to you, and it's just going to go, oh my God, what did I do wrong type thing, and it could actually have repercussions. So like I said again, 90% is research. The 10% is actually doing your spellcraft. So if anybody has any questions or anything that they'd like to ask me, I'm here. So thanks for thanks for watching me and my little rant. So thank you. Take care. Blessed be. Bye.